Anybody home?
New body cam shows the moment officers rush to get people to safety after an apartment explosion.
Classmates testify in the track meet stabbing trial. We're live in Collin County with what jurors heard in court.
It was one of the worst things I ever seen.
A Dallas house fire leaves 2 people at the hospital, but their dogs did not survive. Neighbors share the heartbreaking story and what they hope happens next.
The wait is over. The World Cup has arrived in North Texas as the first World Cup team is now here.
But first, will rain wash out your weekend plans? WFAA News at 6 begins with Chief Meteorologist Pete Delkus.
Well, good evening, everyone. I want to answer that question that Cynthia just posed. The answer is this is not going to be a washout of a weekend. I have rain in my forecast, but it is not 100% widespread rain. I have about 40% of us tomorrow and about 40% of us on Sunday that will see rain, and 60% of us late Saturday night will see rain. So with that said, outside right now in Rockwall on our Trend Tower camera, it's 82 degrees as we look across Ray Hubbard. I don't have a lot happening here across the Metroplex right now. I have some rain off to the east, down to the south, a little bit well off to the northwest, some sprinkles up around Archer City and Seymour, but we all have cloud cover out there right now. Here's the forecast tonight. A little bit of rain, 20% of us see rain as we head through the evening, midnight tonight and overnight. A little bit of rain, 10 to 20% at that time. So again, my forecast tomorrow, absolutely not a washout of a day. But if you have a thunderstorm, some brief heavy rain, some gusty winds, certainly some lightning. You can't have a thunderstorm without lightning. 40% of us see that, 85 tomorrow. That's after midnight Saturday night, 60% of us see rain. And one thing I want you to know, I even have some sunshine in my forecast tomorrow afternoon. Sunday, about 40% of us see rain. The best time will be the first part of the day. By late in the day Sunday, we should be dry. And then wait until you see my 14-day forecast. It almost looks like summer. The heat is on its way. The 14-day outlook coming up.
And with a chance more rain and storms in the forecast this weekend, now's a good time to download WFAA Plus. Our team of meteorologists will share updates to plan around the rain, and you can keep an eye on live radar to know when it'll hit your neighborhood. Plus is free to download to your TV.
To get to new developments in the track meet stabbing trial.
Yeah, the jury just heard from several students and school resource officers who were there at Kirkendall Stadium when Austin Metcalf was killed.
Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez is live at the Collin County Courthouse. Rebecca, what testimony stood out to you?
Well, Cynthia, there was a lot of new information that came out today. We did hear from the students that saw the stabbing. We also heard from the paramedics who tried to save his life, who tried to save Austin Metcalf's life. We also saw the weapon that was used, and we saw body cam footage. So a lot going on today. We are using sketches from our courtroom artists because cameras are not allowed inside. Jurors watched video of Carmelo Anthony moments after the stabbing as police took him into custody. The school resource officer who arrested Anthony testified students pointed him to the suspect. He told jurors that Anthony immediately admitted what happened, saying, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Jurors, though, also saw photographs of the knife used in the stabbing. Witnesses described it as a utility tool similar to a Leatherman. And they also watched that body camera video in which Anthony could be heard crying, repeatedly saying Metcalf put his hands on him and asking officers if Metcalf was going to be okay. Earlier, a paramedic testified that Metcalf had no pulse when emergency crews arrived and described the extraordinary measures that were taken to try to save his life. We also again heard from multiple student witnesses. They gave differing accounts. Some said that they were both aggressive. Both Anthony and Metcalf were aggressive, but that it was Carmelo Anthony who escalated it. But on cross-examination, they said it was Austin Metcalf who might have been the aggressor, that he went and shoved Carmelo Anthony in like a linebacker's kind of drill, and that Anthony was sitting there just talking to his friend and was actually sitting outside the tent. So a lot of new details that we have not known until this trial started, Cynthia.
And Rebecca, you know, we've seen a lot of protesters right outside the courthouse there. What's the atmosphere like right now?
Chris, there have been times when there have been protesters shouting at each other. There have been some protesters out here shouting racial slurs, and that gets everybody hyped up. But I will tell you, the Collin County Sheriff's Department has this under control. They have quickly quelled and de-escalated the situation, and they are watching everyone. They're keeping track. They are very well staffed, and they say that they're going to make sure that everybody here does have the right to a free speech, but that they do it in a respectful and legal manner. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rebecca.
Court is expected to resume tomorrow. On Saturday, we have a crew scheduled to be inside to keep you updated. Every day, WFAA will bring you in-depth coverage from inside the courtroom. You can get more context on what's happening with our nightly special after the trial. It's streaming on WFAA Plus every day at 8 p.m. while court is in session.
A family is taking action tonight after a security guard was shot and killed in Deep Ellum. This happened on Cinco de Mayo, and now Joseph Gray's mother is filing a wrongful death lawsuit against La Tardiata, the club where he worked. She claims the owners allowed customers to bring weapons inside for a fee. Detorius Tarver is accused of killing Gray, and detectives say he paid the fee that night and walked into the club with his gun. Police say Gray was trying to break up a fight when Tarver shot the security guard. WFAA reached out to La Tardiata and they told us, quote, "Our hearts go out to the family of the deceased and everyone impacted by this tragedy. They will not comment on pending litigation."
WFAA just obtained body cam footage showing the moment officers raced to get people and animals to safety after the Oak Cliff apartment explosion. You can see officers going door to door calling for people to come out. This all happened last Thursday. 3 people were killed in that blast. And tonight we're hearing from family of the victims still deep in grief, but thankful for the support.
Thank all the people that helped during this difficult tragedy.
Later at 6, more on the funeral plans in place to honor the 2 women and baby who were killed, and see video of the driverless car that blocked an officer from the scene.
Now to a developing story in Dallas where investigators are looking into a major fire in the Redbird neighborhood.
2 people had to be pulled from the burning home and they are in critical condition tonight.
Yeah, Tiffany Liu just spoke with neighbors who told her they woke up to the sight of smoke.
It was so close. Neighbors could feel the heat.
I was so scared. I thought it was gonna get on the trees and fall all over the house.
Andrew Trevino lives next to the home that caught fire on Starkey Street in Dallas Thursday night.
Everybody's lights on the block started flickering, so everybody was coming outside trying to see what was going on.
2 people, who Andrew says is an elderly brother-sister duo, were severely injured.
Everybody knows them around the neighborhood.
Dallas Fire Rescue tells us they're in the hospital.
God is just gonna take care of them. He's gonna have to.
Beyond their injuries, beyond their burnt home,
That broke my heart.
they lost 3 dogs in the fire.
Those dogs don't deserve that.
As soon as we pulled into the street, neighbors came up to us concerned about the 3 dogs who died. And that's when we looked over at the property and saw them laying there, lifeless.
They need to come get these dogs ASAP.
A day after the fire, Andrew hopes they'll be picked up soon. We helped him call Dallas Animal Services, who says they are sending a crew to get them.
Just seeing a dog chained up over there after all the police and everybody left.
Andrew keeps replaying the moment he saw those dogs dead. He had gone over to save a surviving dog.
You lose your dogs, your house.
He worries for his neighbors, the people who for years called this place home.
We're just gonna pray that they are okay and that they make it out of this.
In Dallas,
There's nothing left.
I'm Tiffany Liu.
Keep an eye out tomorrow as a longtime landmark is demolished in Arlington. The Sheraton Hotel has been around since 1984, but when crews set off a series of explosions Saturday, it'll take less than a minute to come down. Plan to arrive early if you want to watch. If the weather cooperates, the demolition is scheduled for 8:30 a.m. and the Arlington PD will limit access near the site. Lowe's plans to redevelop that area into the Americana Resort.